Welcome to the world of the Dragon Odyssey. If you're about to dive into this epic RPG, you've probably noticed one of the biggest decisions comes right at the start, choosing your class. With 7 unique classes to pick from, each offering its own playstyle and flavor, it's no wonder players spend hours debating which one to go with. And let's not forget, as you level up, your class evolves, becoming even more powerful and unlocking awesome new abilities. Sounds cool, right? But it also makes that first choice feel a little overwhelming. Don't worry though, we've got you covered. In today's video, we're breaking down all the starting classes in the Dragon Odyssey to help you make the best choice for your adventure. Whether you're aiming to dominate in combat, support your team, or explore the fantastical world in style, we've ranked the classes from strongest to, well, let's just say less ideal. So sit back, grab your potions, and let's find out which class deserves the top spot in your journey through this magical world. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking classes in the Dragon Odyssey. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Prophet. Alright folks, let's dive into one of the most almost there but not quite classes in the Dragon Odyssey, the Prophet. Picture this, you're surrounded by chaos, teammates yelling for heals, and you're just standing there channeling ancient prayers, hoping your geomantic temple vibes kick in before it's too late. Sounds heroic, right? Well, not so fast. While the Prophet's connection to the healing springs of the earth is poetic, in practice, it feels like you're bringing a garden hose to a forest fire. The healing is, let's say, selective at best, totally dependent on your sprites and teammates being just competent enough to survive until you can work your magic. Now, don't get me wrong, this class isn't completely hopeless. If you can stick it out and promote them to a seer, they level up their game big time. But early on, it's rough. They lack DPS, they're squishy, and they demand a lot of skill and resources to make their potential shine. If you're the type who loves a challenge and believes in long-term payoffs, you might just have what it takes to turn this underdog into a late-game powerhouse. But let's be real, most of us would rather pick something that doesn't feel like hard mode on the tutorial level. The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Berserker, Warlord, and Succubus. So you're here for the meaty details about the domain classes in the Dragon Odyssey. Let's dive into the nitty-gritty of the B tier picks. Classes that pack just enough punch to keep things interesting, but might need a bit of extra finesse to truly shine. Spoiler alert, some of these are absolute beasts in the right hands. First up, the Berserker. These guys are the embodiment of raw loyalty and unyielding bravery. Picture a knight charging into battle with a silver sword in one hand and a bronze shield in the other, fearlessly tanking damage like it's a minor inconvenience. Their high HP and defense make them the go-to tanks for team play. But here's the catch, don't expect them to top the damage charts. Without the support of sprites or teammates, their DPS is, well, let's just say it's not their strongest suit. Pro tip, promote them to Guardian, and you've got yourself a fortress on legs. Next, let's talk Warlord. If the Berserker is a fortress, the Warlord is a battering ram. Orcs born for battle, they storm the field with an unrelenting ferocity that demands attention. High HP and impressive attack power make them a fantastic fighter class, especially when promoted to Destroyer. But there's a trade-off here, they're not exactly the most defensive or consistent damage dealers. Think of them as a mix between crowd control and frontline fighter, perfect for disrupting enemy formations. Oh, and now we come to the flashy one, the Succubus. These shadowy assassins are all about flair and devastation. Their burst damage is jaw-dropping, making them an absolute terror in PvP. Seriously, get one of these promoted to Slayer and watch your opponents panic. But, and it's a big but, they're as fragile as they are deadly. PvE? Forget it. Their survivability is almost non-existent, so tread lightly unless you enjoy spending half the fight respawning. What makes these B tier classes fun is their personality. They all have a specific role to play, and when they stick to their strengths, they can turn the tide of a battle. That said, they're not as forgiving as the higher tier picks. You'll need to strategize around their weaknesses, whether it's teaming your Berserker with healers or protecting your Succubus from a stray sneeze in PvE. So, whether you're charging as a Berserker, commanding as a Warlord, or slicing through shadows as a Succubus, these classes are all about finding the right rhythm. With some practice, and maybe a sprinkle of luck, you'll find that even a B tier class can feel like an unstoppable force. Got a favorite? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're tearing it up in the Dragon Odyssey. The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Priest and Gunner. Let's talk about Priests and Gunners in the Dragon Odyssey. These two A tier domain classes are like yin and yang. One is all about healing and support, while the other thrives on blowing up everything in sight. Whether you're a player who loves to keep your squad alive or one who enjoys watching enemies crumble from a distance, these classes are worth diving into. So grab a snack, sit back, and let's break down why these two are fan favorites. First up, the Priest. Imagine having the power of light and shadow at your command. Sounds epic, right? That's the Priest for you. These noble elves are masters of hope and destruction rolled into one, weaving ancient sacred blessings to heal and protect their allies. Their DPS isn't half bad, but let's be honest, they truly shine when it comes to survivability. If you're the type who likes to stay alive no matter what, the Priest has your back. And when you promote to Sage, oh boy, things get even better. Insane healing abilities, top tier support for team events, and a knack for keeping your party in one piece. Fair warning though, they're not the most beginner friendly class, but if you've got the skills, they'll turn you into the MVP of any raid or dungeon. Now, let's switch gears to the Gunner, the polar opposite of the Priest. These sharp shooting marksmen, or markswomen, are all about precision and the firepower. If you're the kind of player who gets a kick out of watching mobs disappear under a barrage of bullets, the Gunner is your class. They excel at PvE, mowing down waves of enemies with some seriously strong AoE attacks. And when you promote to Cannoneer, forget about it. Mobs don't stand a chance. Their range damage is unmatched, and they've got the mobility to keep them out of harm's way. Just don't expect them to dominate in PvP. Their lack of single target power holds them back there. So, there you have it. The divine healing powerhouse versus the range damage dealing machine. Both are A tier for good reason, offering incredible utility in their own way. Whether you want to be the team's savior or the ultimate mob clearer, these classes deliver. So, which one is calling your name? The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Mage. Alright, let's talk about the undisputed king, or should I say Archmage, of the Dragon Odyssey, the Mage. If you're here to rain destruction on your enemies while looking effortlessly cool, this is your class. Mages are like the rock stars of elemental forces, wielding magic staves that make their enemies wish they'd stayed home. With just a flick of the wrist, they unleash devastating storms that turn the battlefield into a chaotic, glorious mess. It's not just power, it's style. Whether you're frying enemies with lightning or freezing them in place, you're not just fighting, you're putting on a show. And the best part? Mages aren't just about raw power, they're surprisingly beginner-friendly with solid survivability, making them the perfect pick for players of all levels. But wait, there's more. When you promote your mage to warlock, you unlock a PvP powerhouse that dominates duels and team fights alike. So, if you want a class that delivers insane damage, unmatched AoE capabilities, and a ticket to the top of every tier list, the mage is calling your name. Answer it, you won't regret it. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.